Namaskaram. I am Jayachandran, a dancer, a dance researcher, a lecturer at International Institute of Information Technology, Hyderabad. I take immense pleasure to be part of Anubhav 2020, an initiative under the auspices of SPIC MACAY. Kudos to SPIC MACAY for such an initiative during such troubled times. That too, diverting the mind towards the intangible assets, the knowledge system of India, the arts of India. And more importantly, the thoughtful idea of including Baul Sangeet as a part of the festival. Because Baul Sangeet, one of the pivotal thought idea is that nothing is constant, even the most deep troubles, even the joy. But if there is something invariant, something constant, that would be love, the love for the universal master. Such profound thought doesn't come from a very privileged background, but from tiny, simple, humble villages. It comes from the banks of the rivers. It comes from a tiny setups where everything is very down, low, but very profound, precious. Bengal has been the nerve center for such a thought. Currently, the Baul music is spread across Bihar, Jharkhand, Assam, and also current Bangladesh. Who are the Bauls? To define it poetically, they roam like ghosts. They are like dogs to their masters. They raise clarion calls like wolves to the community. They warn them, but they sing like coils. During the time of need, they are like grandfathers who advise the community, but they don't ever treat them with a condescending attitude because they see everyone in the community as an embodiment of their master. They see life as a flow, as a river. They see life with a non-participative attitude, with a Sakshi Bhava, the idea of a witness. Their music is deeply steeped with the thought that body is an instrument to reach their master. Their parameters of the body is so important, if attuned properly, can reach very high levels of profound wisdom. Vehemently disagreeing with any kind of inequality, be it religious, be it communal, be it sectarian, they are liberated people. They are men and women, married Bauls and non-married Bauls. Deeply impressed and moved by such a philosophy and are liberated. During one of her train journey, Srimati Parvathy Baul was smitten by such a philosophy. More the liberated seeker she is, she went and imbibed this knowledge system under the gurus Sanatan Das Baul and Shashanko Goshai Baul in Bengal. The Baul music she sings is only an offshoot of this sadhana, her practice. A very sought after mystic of the modern times, a very engaging performer, a deep sadhaka she is. Many awards have adorned her shoulders, and she takes it so lightly, one of them being the Central Sangeet Natak Academy Award. Vidushi Parvathy Baul, with her compassionate thought to share her wisdom along with her husband, they have started an institute, Ektara Baul Sangeet Kadari, at Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. I invite you in the world of Baul Sangeet as a part of Anubhav 2020, an initiative of SPIC MACAY. Welcome.
Good afternoon and my pronouns to everybody. My name is Charu Sanan and on behalf of SPIC MACAY, I welcome everybody in the day 2 session of folk module in SPIC MACAY Anubhav. It is my honor to welcome one of the leading Baul singers of our country, Vidushi Parvathy Baulji. Parvathy Baulji, a Baul folk singer, musician, and a storyteller from Bengal, and one of the leading Baul musicians of India. In her early years, she took training in Kathak and Hindustani vocal too. But it was her visit to Shanti Niketan campus and listening to few Baul singers and visiting various Baul ashrams which took her to learning Baul music. Over the years, she has traveled and performed all over the country and abroad, participating in many festivals too. She is a recipient of Sangeet Natak Academy Award. Over to you, Sucheta, now.
Namaste, Charu ma'am. Please accept my
Namaste.
pranam, Parvathy ji. I'm really blessed, and it's my immense honor to be with you here because all of our viewers are seeing you. It's in today's youth generation, they actually idealize you with Baul Sangeet. To them, Baul Sangeet means you, many of them. So, my first question is in this regard, from the very beginning of your childhood, very early childhood, you are learning music and then a conventional education. So when you were in like Shantiniketan, Vishwabharat University, so something must have very profound happened that yet not being from a traditional Baul family, these knowledges are passed through generation, yet you took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the differences. Please tell us something about that.
Jai Guru to everybody.
Right.
Namaste Charuji and Namaste Sucheta.
Yes.
It is always lovely to be in your company in SPIC MACAY. Always it was very eye-opening for me to be with SPIC MACAY. So I come directly to your question is that what really inspired me to take Baul? Uh, since my childhood, I grew up always in the environment of music, dance, and art. Uh, since my childhood, I knew that this was my path. But only thing what I was looking for is this completion of the inner expression. So I went to different streams of dancing and singing and painting to find where exactly I could find that freedom that I was looking for. So it was not fulfilling me. But when I heard Baul music, listened to the Baul music for the first time, I saw the voice of the Baul was so open. It was so free, and it was touching the sky. For me, it was like that as a child. For me, they were singing and looking up, and their voice was so open. It was from the heart. Then I thought, if these people have this kind of opening in them, then what kind of freedom that they experience? And this was something I was looking for. I have heard many voices. I have heard many different kind of music. But when I heard Baul, I saw something very different which I have not seen. And later I understood that it was the spirituality of the Baul, the inner aspect of the bhakti and yoga. So that, to understand that, I took a long time, but I knew that there was this inner freedom. So if one frees oneself from one's own mind, one becomes free even in music and dance. So that is the whole secret that is of the Baul in a small way. So you can say that I was looking for this completion that can bring me in my inside, that where the music becomes a tool of transformation, inner transformation, to experience divine. So, as simple as that. Yes.
Okay. So you have learned from some of the greatest Baul exponent like Guru Sanatan Das Baulji and Guru Shashanko Ghoshji. So while you were in their ashram, how was your training days? Like how was it be like in those ashram and only music learning, or there was life lesson and everything? And was the teaching method of teaching little bit similar, or it was totally different? Just you tell us about that.
When I started living with my guru, it was absolutely different to whatever I have lived before until then. I had an idea of, music class and dance class. There was no class. We just followed our teacher wherever he went. And I was assisting him, making his tea, bringing his tea, and putting oil on his body, going to Madhukuri. Madhukuri is the Bhiksha with him, and wherever he went to sing, I followed him. Carrying his instrument, tying his costume. This was my work. And there used to be like days I have not even sat down for learning anything, and suddenly he can call me while he's taking bath. Come here, I remember something, I need to tell you. And then he teach me the whole song while he's taking his bath. So I became so attentive to him that I knew his rhythm, what he's thinking now and what he's going to be. I think this is what is the transmission in the Guru Shishya Parampara, that you receive the whole being. Once you receive the being of that person, then to receive the knowledge of the person become easy. So to we usually don't understand the teacher, we don't look deep into the process of the teacher, and then we want to learn only the art. In that way, we don't really get the rasa of the person, because what he is the manifestation of his practice, manifestation of his knowledge. So when you start getting the rasa with the master, you will see the in depth what this the master is holding as a knowledge. And it is also a relationship, and because it is almost a father daughter relationship that I experienced with my teacher. And though I was not biologically born from them, but you can say they gave my birth spiritually and artistically. And if you say method, yes, there is method. There is a very clear step by step process of learning. Uh, but the way you learn in a sahaj bhav, like living every day and learning small things from him, and finally you see that your jhola or your bag is full of things that he has given. You're full of gifts. So this is mostly the way of the traditional learning. That is how we have practiced, and it takes years. And sometime when the guru leaves the body, we still learn, because we know that guru is manifesting without the body in the form of different beings, different situation. And also, even as my student, they also teach me, they are also the guru. So he manifests in different form, you see. So it is an ongoing process. You can never pass out of the university of the guru. That is you can only study in a school.
So just adding on to Suchita's question, why is Guru Shishya Parampara so relevant till today?
It is relevant because nothing can replace this. Nothing can replace this. Why it cannot replace this is because my guru has lived the same way with his guru, and he has received with the same rigor and time by being with his guru. So how it is coming from from Parama Guru to the Guru to the Guru, it's getting more ripen and ripen and ripen. It is not about intellectual knowledge. It is not about reading books. You can read books to have information, but it is someone who knows the taste, someone who has experienced and tells you go this way. It is very fast, because you will know, you can touch that aspect, touch that unknown. when we read a book and we think that we don't need a guru, or get watch something and try to learn ourselves, what can happen is that because we don't have the experience, we can make ourselves believe that we know it, but it may not be correct. In that way, we might lose many years. But if you remain with a alert and awakened guru, then he can easily tell you this is what you need, because he already has the experience. So it is a relationship. It is a continuation of life. The guru is a living archive, and this living archive cannot be written down in the books. If books only can give information. So if we have to really become the other living archive, you want to experience or bring upalabdhi in your body, you must be under Guru's guidance. Otherwise, there is no way. Nothing can replace Guru Shikha.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You have explained so easily, like one cannot never ever pass the university of his or her own guru's university.
Mm.
So now we are going to play the first song, Ami Gaur Bole Daki. You need to explain a little bit about of that song, because lots of our viewers are not Bengali. And simultaneously in that video, another song will also be there, Janama Morono Hobei Nibarono. That explanation already in the video. So please little bit explain and then play the video.
Tai Ami Gaur Bole Daki, it is a song written by Radha Raman. Radha Raman lived in Sylhet in Bangladesh, and he is very respected as a Baul master and poet. It is a song that emphasizes on Gopi Bhav, because that is the heart of the Baul, unconditional love or ahetuki bhakti. So I will little bit read the meaning, because the poetry is very beautiful. It says that so I would call Gaur, the golden one, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If Gaur wear the sandal paste I rub on my skin, I know Gaur is not alone. Radha dwells in his heart. O Sakhi, Gaur is my conch bangle and sari. If I could have Gaur for a moment, I would adorn my hair. O Sakhi, I place Gaur on my forehead as the sign of marriage. I comb my hair with Gaur. Like the gopis of Vrindavan, my heart thirsts for Krishna. Like a swallow in the sky. O Sakhi, Gaur is my golden bangle and necklace of precious jewels. I wear Gaur and walk slowly. O Sakhi, if Gaur appears for once as Krishna before my eyes, I will embody you, Krishna. So Radharaman sings, I submit myself to Gaur. For Baul, this self-surrender is the most important, like the Radha surrendered to Krishna. We say the highest love that a sadhak can experience is Gopi's love. This song is dedicated to that.
Abhishek, you can play the Abhishek, you can play the video.
Vidari Premanande রঙ্গনা সম শ্রীকৃষ্ণ বিহনে আমার মান হইয়াছে জাতকি আমি গৌর বলে ডাকি
Maybe I have to talk in English.
because we have so many people from different parts. So the songs of Baul is to transcend oneself from all the limitations that we have. And it comes, in a baby we don't see this, but it comes slowly when we start having educations, and slowly our mind takes over and the personality comes. So it becomes so and so. And we forget the true nature. The Sabhav becomes more important than the true self. The song here is written by, the one I sang right now, is written by Radha Raman Ghoshal. He's from Bangladesh. And he thinks himself that gold, the golden one, is my husband. And I always think gold. And I always think that gold is not only a man, there is Radha inside him. And he says that gold is my sign of marriage, gold is my bangle, gold is my sari, gold is my everything. Why should I need any decoration? Gold is the decoration, his love is the decoration of my heart. And the only wish that I have is to see Gauranga in front of me, standing in Trivanga. Then my body will dance in joy, in pure Ananda. And I will be one with him. But I would like to be an eternal slave to his feet, at his feet. The next song is the essence of Sahaja Yoga, which is the heart of Baul. Baul is Sahaja Yoga. And it says, "Oh my heart, do the practice of dying, shall bring freedom from the bondage of birth and death. Born to die, dying to be born again. Death, birth is nothing but endless suffering." Three Vedas situated in Muladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipura. The master practitioner knows, and he is never attached to any mundane mortal delights of the world. Ira Pingala, always chanting Hamsa with the bhava of Soham, unites in the middle of the eyes. And at that moment of experience, you will hear the Anhat Nad, the sound of flute, kartal, shank, everything will play with you. And you will hear the dancing feet with the nupur. And that is the vision. When it comes to sadhaka, sadhaka is in full moon. It's like the Rasa Purnima where Radha and Krishna unites in the Vrindavan of heart. And that is the Sahaja Yoga, Sahaja path to attain the ultimate goal of Nirvana. জনম মরণ ভীষণ যন্ত্রণা জনম মরণ হবে 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 যদি করম মরণ সাধনা জনম মরণ আ উ মা এই বেদত্রয় মূলাধারে স্বাধিষ্ঠানে মণিপুরে নয় সাধনায় সিদ্ধ জানি হল নিশ্চয় সাধনায় সিদ্ধ হলে জানিও নিশ্চয় কামিনী কাঞ্চনে আসক্তি থাকেন জনম মরণ হবে 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 যদি করম মরণ সাধনা জনম মরণ রাম পিঙ্গলা এই দুই নারী হংসম যদি দিবস সরবরি মধ্যে সুষমনা চক্রভেদ করি সোহম ভাবহন শ্বেত দলনা জনম হবে হবে যদি করম মরণ সাধনা জনম মরণ তখন শুনিতে পাইবে বাঁশির লহরী you don't clap immediately and take a little time, I'll be more happy. Thank you.
It was so beautiful. Your music always takes us to some intangible area, very difficult to, explain in words. But what I want to ask you, and what I always heard when I go through your music, that you have a very distinctive style. Even I can say you have a gharana of your own. So, and which is an amalgamation of folk music and classical music. There's a profound effect of raga sangeet in your music. If you can elaborate a bit of that, because this kind of Baul music we don't hear from any other Baul. Only from. Okay.
So if we look at the kind of style that I'm following, this is from my Guru Parampara, and that's from a style that came from the Janamo Marono, the one you heard. It came from Shashanka Gosai, and what he told me that in the old time, the bowls they used to sing very slowly because we have a anga in the Padavali Kirtan, which is the Vaishnava style, where you have very long sections of rhythm. So you divide the rhythm in very slow beat, and sometimes they have, you know, 52 beats. Sometimes they have 16 beats. Sometimes they have 21 beats. So like this, they prolong the time. For Baul, we had only one ektara and just one drum. This was the Adi Baul. Adi Baul means the first, the ancient way of singing Baul. Then other instruments came. So when the Baul is singing with this Dugi and Ektara, he cannot have the mir or the prolonged uh, uh, swara, because these two, both the instruments cannot have mir, because this both are kind of drone instrument. It can give rhythm, and Ektara gives a rhythm with a stable pitch. So what they had to do is with their movement, body movement, and with their voice, they had to prolong the time. The Baul singing is not only singing, it has the body movement in it. So, and is a very specific way of moving the body, which you learn from the Guru. There are faster songs, there are songs that is little slower, and there are long songs. So these long songs, somehow it got lost over the time. So when I met my Guruji, I saw him when he first time he was performing in Kala Bhavan. He was doing the Kaliya. You remember? I think Shucheta remember. The Kaliya was
Yes.
very long, prolonged, and his rhythm was suddenly he danced, and suddenly there is pause and takes his voice for a long. So this was the style of the Baul. But then what happened is that it went through changes, and then many more instruments came. And as we are talking about, like when many people come in, then you have to keep up with the others. And so it became more like an orchestra, folk orchestra, and the song got more structured in a shorter beats. So then we lost the ancient style in that way. So what came up to us is also the exposure, I feel, because some of the bowls still sing in this way. If you go deep into Bangladesh, in the Kushtia area, or even in Sylhet, you can find very rare ragas, very rare rhythmic pattern in the bowl song. So it's enormous, this knowledge that is there. But we got used to listening to similar kind of tune, like Bhairavi tune, and that same 6 beats, 8 beats, it became the normal thing. So then we started thinking, okay, Baul has only this pattern, but it's not so. Just because we didn't have the exposure, we have a lot of pattern. And there is each district of Bengal and in Bangladesh, they change their style of singing according to the space, geography, and the things that exist around. For example, if you go more into Kushtia Anchal or Dhaka Anchal, where there is more water, there is one way of singing is Bhatiali. So Bhatiali has a rhythmical pattern which is like a wave, very Shona Bondhure. The voice is like a water; it moves like water. And then if you go more towards Bakura, that's where Sanatan Baba comes from, you will see more the Vishnupur Gharana Dhrupad had some influence into that. For example, Har Pire Matiya Shankara Pire Matiya. Then you go to Purulia, there is the Jhumur, which is the Bairagi, Rag Bairagi. Dena, 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 lo. See, immediately everything, the raga is changing, the rhythmical pattern is changing. So I was always looking for more and more diversity and how I can incorporate it, being absolutely solo and bring it in the body with just dugi and instrument, dugi and ektara. And it eventually gave birth to something which my Gurujis were already doing, Sanatan Baba was doing, and Shashank Gosai was doing, but it took another shape because I do not know why, but if you really look carefully, each of the baul, even though they sound alike, but they have very distinct characteristic when they sing. The way when you'll hear a baul, for example, I don't know, I think if Kanaida is singing, it sounds like any other song, but
Yes.
he has a very specific style. Nobody can sing like Kanaida. There's some sweetness, some special in him. Again, when Devda is singing, Devda has another style. So each baul has built their own style, even if they came from their guru parampara. And not every baul has the singing and dancing. It's only certain school. So this school that belong is Vaishnav Darvish. They used to dance. Hmm. So it depends. Like the fakir of Bangladesh, they don't dance. They play the dotara or they play ektara or khonjoni, and they stand and sing. So each school is different, but definitely, if we look deeply, we can find diversity in it. And I'm always researching and finding old ragas as much as I can. So I go through the old Padavali book, old Charyagiti book, and I read the names of the raga and try to find the link. Some of the ragas are completely lost, but you can at least guess how it was, and I try to incorporate. Yet I don't want to be a classical singer because the sound of the baul is very different than what we manifest with the classical music. They are different style. So baul is a way of telling a story, and there is a complete, it's also like a singing theater. It is also like a dance. It is everything together. So to find a beautiful balance, I feel. I think I have spoken a lot. Now you say. Yeah.
We can hear to you for many long minutes because so beautifully you explained to us this thing, because I think many of our viewers not known about your distinctive gharana before, because today you have given a very good explanation of this. We can hear more of you, but we have a time constraint, so I think we'll play the next song, Chat Sindhur Pare Sei Bindudhar, and please explain the song to our viewers.
This song is written by Haure Gosai, and he is one of our very important and very revered Mahajan. We call the Padakartas or the poets as Mahajan, the great souls. So and Haure Gosai was from Bardhaman district. And actually these songs are written by his student, who was a very high scholar in Sanskrit and everything, but he put his guru's name as Havre Gosai. The person who was written, he was a student of Havre Gosai. This is a song that explains about the inner yoga of the Baul. I will tell in few lines, very short. Beyond the sea of the self, this body is like the ocean. So beyond the sea of the self, there is the island of Bindu. So Bindu is a point in the body, the spiritual body, that's the yogic body, where there is the place of the light. We said that something that illuminates us. There is the place of the Bindu. But the beginning is in this very root, Muladhar. So if we say that the light is here, but the beginning comes from the lower part of the body, that's from the Muladhar. So look, oh mad one, the wisdom is in this human body. So what Baul say is that the whole universe, jaha ache bhande, jaha dekho brahmande ache ei bhande. It means whatever you see in the universe, it exists in the body. So this is a small explanation of this song. It is much longer and much more deep, but I think this is okay.
Video started.
See, for Baul, Baul songs are Mahamantra. When a Mahajan or a Mahatma is in the deep realization, they express their experience for us through the songs, through simple songs. Why they make it into simple songs? So that music has no barrier and music can touch anyone's heart. So when this deep knowledge, if just somebody just keep on speaking about it, we might get bored. But if someone sing it to us, we will be very touched by it. Maybe we will have a better capacity of listening to what the truth is spoken to us. So these wisdom songs, they mostly reflect the inner world of a Baul sadhak. And these songs, they hold a deep philosophy in them, yoga in them, bhakti in them. And by singing it many times, one is contemplating on the song, the meaning of the song, meaning of the poetry. So it vibrates inside the body. Again, one who is singing is naturally meditating on the song, but one who is listening is also meditating on the song. Because listening is also a form of meditation. So it works both ways. And that's how you feel touched by the Baul songs. Even if you don't understand the meaning, you don't know the language, but you feel that something has touched you deeply. What is it? It is the truth, that devotion, and that love that is carried in the heart of the Baul. We may not know in depth all about yoga or all about the aspects of the thing of bhakti and singing everything. It's not necessary also. But the sound that has come out from a Baul, it has come out after many years of sadhana. So in a way, it has some perfection in it, some purity in it, and that is what is touching you. So my Guruji used to say that until you realize, or unless you realize the meaning of the song, you cannot convey that meaning to the other people. If you understand, then your listener also will understand. For that, the Baul has to take a long process to internalize the song. For all, it is for Baul, for Sufis, for everybody. To bring the real rasa or the essence of the Baul song, one has to contemplate on this song for many days, many times. Then it will come out as a sahaj. So when you meditate or do dhyana on your Sangeet, your life transforms, your breath transforms, your body transforms, and it becomes light. We say that it is a way also to experience, uh, aprakrito deho. Aprakrito means a body that is made of all five elements, which is worldly elements, but there is a kind of transparency in that body which can hold the divine energy. So through singing, that transformation can happen. And that's how music becomes a yoga and Baul becomes a Nada Upasaka. Here the sound is the seed. People do different kind of upasana. Like some people do homa, some people do japa, some people do, retreat, they take vipassana, different things. Baul sing and dance. And the sound is the seed of the meditation. That's why it is very deep. It is not only music. One has to completely give oneself into this. Then only that song will ripen.
Such a deep philosophy, but you explained it so easily, mainly for our student viewers. So it's very easy for them. It's become now easy. It's not possible to know, but at least they get an idea what it is. Charuji, I'd like to ask if you want to ask something.
After the music, sorry, I was on mute. We'll ask the question after the music. Next music.
Okay, so the next song which we are going to play is Hori Khelche Sri Hori. So please explain a bit about that song.
Yeah, so this is a song written by Rupchat Pokhi. He's not really a Baul master, but he was a Kobigan, the instant poetry fight that in Bengal is famous for. There are two different poets come and they converse on two different aspects. One is, opposing the other. So Rupchat Pokhi was very famous for that. And he was in the early 19th century in Kolkata and surrounding areas. He wrote many songs because he was a devotee of Radha and Krishna. He wrote many songs on Radha and Krishna. I choose this song particularly because in this concert which we are sharing of IIM in Kolkata, which was, I think it was my first SPIC MACAY concert there. So then this composition I did, and it was right after Holi or something like that. And also I choose this because this composition is very joyful. Do you want to hear the whole song? I will just make a gist of it. It is the poetry, how it goes.
You can say.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Who is this? His skin like dark clouds, stealer of Gopi's heart. His healing hands hold an enchanting divine flute. His moon-like face rains always the diamonds of his lovely smile. It is midday. Though it's spring, the sun is burning. Sakhi, I see his forehead covered with sweat. If I was not concerned for my family's honor, O Sakhi, I would have wiped away that sweat with my own sari. It's spring, Sakhi. It is the divine spring. Krishna is playing with colors and gulal. There is Radha beside him. The gopis of Vrindavan shower color on them. They make a swing of wildflowers. The Vrindavan is red. Its earth is red. The Yamuna river is red. The hills and roads are red. Birds, animal, trees, gopa and gopis, all are red. Surrounded by all his favorites, Krishna dances with Radha and unites with unconditional love in the heart of the disciple, heart of the gopi. Dualities dissolve to celebrate the eternally new mate. Rupchat Pokhi. Yes, let's go to the song.
Because I feel that you are really calm down, as if you are really sitting here to listen to the music, and that's so good for people like us. বদন সখী
Really like Parvathy ji magic 2 years. And the next question which I would like to ask you is about your Sanatan Siddha ashram and the classes which you conduct out there.
So we have classes. I also travel a lot. So I am the only teacher right now. There will be more teachers with me who will be teaching, and then it can get into a more regular classes. Right now, when I am here, I take something like couple of weeks or a week, and all the students of me, they come and they join me. We live together and we practice. We have a routine. So this is the way I have been teaching. But in the lockdown, we are not conducting these things. But we have, through online Zoom, we are keeping in contact and checking on each other how we are practicing. And except one of my student who is here, he is learning with me. It is a very traditional Guru Shishya Parampara Gurukul. Only once in a year we have a retreat when we open it up from for anybody who is interested in Baul tradition, and they can come and immerse themselves in music, dance, and philosophy of the Baul and the practice of the Baul for 7 days, so they can have more deeper understanding of the Baul tradition. Then I have small classes with the children from surrounding village, and they practice yoga and music here. So this is basically my our rhythm right now.
So, sorry, huh? You're saying something?
So I said I also teach like traveling, and I go and teach other places also. But I would like to more concentrate in the ashram, and everybody can come here and practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next question is, how has your journey been with SPIC MACAY, and what is the message you would like to give to the young volunteers, the youth of today?
The work of SPIC MACAY has been very significant for our time. And it is actually, when it started, that was the right time when we really had to inspire the youth about and make them realize the depth of our traditions. And I met Kiranji and SPIC MACAY long time ago in 2000 in Delhi, and then there was a long gap. Then again, with the videos that we played in IIM Kolkata International Convention, that's where I came for the first time after 2000 and joined fully. It was a very memorable experience in Kolkata. I was with so close with so many great people, and we had so much discussion, so we came to know so much from each other. It was sharing with the students and also between the masters. They were learning from each other, and it was so enriching to be with Bahauddin, to be with Kapila, and there was you know uh, Rashid Khanji, who is the eldest. He came and he performed. Oh my God, I cannot even remember. And I'm just remembering all this. All night we are sitting through and very intense, like one after the other. Music is going on, and you get intoxicated in your head. And even if you go in the room, you are in the soothing bed of music. Even in your sleep, you can hear music. It's so enriching. And in the morning, we're getting up with Bahauddin and Pelva and doing Drupad sadhana. Manjari ji was there. We had wonderful chai time with Manjari ji. Came to know so many things. She had such wonderful Hindi. And then I continued with SPIC MACAY through small concerts. Like in Orissa, I went, and Pune. I went to Pune, Maharashtra, and some other places. In Kerala also I did. And it was, and Delhi also I went. And we went to the schools, and the interaction with the children, it was very pure, because they don't have any judgment in their, and they're like blank open heart, and they're ready to receive what comes. I had very and also in Dehradun that I went, that also was a great experience for me. So uh, through these interactions, I feel that many children I met. One time I was passing through an airport, and this person who was in the Indigo officer, he came and said, Parvathy man, do you recognize me? I was in that SPIC MACAY school, you came. And I was like, oh, okay. So I get to meet many people like that. And it's so wonderful. They grow up and they
Yes,
remember.
that's how you touch lives. You touch so many lives.
And he said that after that, even though he had to continue with his whatever, but he kept on practicing yoga, and he meditated every day, he told me. So he kept something from that meeting. So that's lovely. So Speak Mackay is actually not only for people where the artist give their knowledge and art. It is also for the artist who receives a lot of beautiful and positive feedback to their work. And in the conventions, it's really special when we get to meet and stay together for some days. It's wonderful.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And indeed, I was intoxicated too when I heard you first time at IM Kolkata. I could not understand Bengali a bit, but there was something, in your music which touched me, and I could not just understand anything, and tears were just rolling down my eyes. So I'm sure there were so many people you have touched lives, and thank you so much for coming and giving us your time and sharing such a beautiful moment. And of course, behind the camera, we were talking to you, and you had such beautiful memories to share, and beautiful, sharing is so beautiful. And thanks again, once again. And over to you, Suchita. You would like to say something?
Thank you so much for joining us today. We could talk and talk and talk, but there is a time thing. But again, it's our pleasure on behalf of entire Speak Mackay team. I'm thanking you to come with us here today live, and we'd obviously like to see you in many more programs in the coming years. My accept my
Yes.
Yeah.
pranam. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you, and my pranams to
Jai
you,
Guru.
ma'am. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
So there's an announcement to make to all the audience viewers who are watching live here. We start the next program in another 2 minutes. So till then, please keep doing your exercises, your palm exercises, and please be a little patient for the next 2 minutes. We would start with the next program with Tijan Baiji. Thank you and namaskar.